Saturday, February 3rd, Valentina Bullet Shevchenko fights an X-crackhead. What? This is Truth in MMA. I'm Dan from Oregon. Earlier, I was listening to the Co-Main Event podcast with Chad Dundas and Ben Folks, and let's have a listen. They were talking about Bullet's upcoming fight with Priscila Cachoeira. Don't mind my pronunciation there. Let's listen.
To Amanda Nunes. She's going to take on Priscila Cachoeira, who's making her UFC debut this Saturday. This is at UFC Fight Night. What is it, 125?
125.
Down there in Brazil. Priscila Cachoeira is obviously Brazilian. She's only been a professional MMA fighter for about 18 months. She's 8-0. She's a heavy hitter and is like one of the, just to piggyback a little bit on our Gregor Gillespie discussion, like has a super interesting story because she's a former crack addict who cleaned up her life and became a professional fighter and is now about to make her UFC debut.
Huh.
In fact, your guy Chad Dundas has a story about her coming out on Wednesday. And let me say, to their credit, I worked with UFC Brazil on it, and they were outstanding. They were just really good to work with and easy and got us everything we needed and hooked me up with Priscilla and her mom. And so it's an interesting story. But at the same time, Priscila Cachoeira is going to be a significant underdog to Valentina Shevchenko this weekend. And that makes you wonder from a matchmaking standpoint, like, are we trying to get Valentina Shevchenko off and running at 125 pounds?
By having her go down to Brazil and smash a Brazilian with an inspiring personal story?
Yeah, like serving her up a fight where she might get exactly what you were saying she needs.
Yeah, well...
All right, now let's talk about Priscilla. I was having technical difficulties. I'm not sure if you guys heard all that. Priscilla is an ex-crackhead, and so thanks to MMA Junkie and all the guys for that, by the way. I looked more into this. I found an article by Guilherme Cruz, MMA Fighting, December 26. Priscila Cachoeira overcame crack addiction, sexual abuse, and improbable journey to the UFC. And I'm going to read some of this for you guys. And this is Priscilla, quote, "I started going to parties every day and met people that used drugs," Cachoeira said. "My life changed. I dropped studies, sports, and started sleeping during the day, partying every night. That's how I started using Lolo, a blend of chloroform and ether, marijuana, cocaine, and crack. I spent a lot of my time using crack, more than 3 years," she continued. "My biceps were the size of my wrists. Crack almost killed me. I prayed for a way out. I wanted to stop. I knew I was dying. I knew I was killing myself, but I couldn't stop. My body kept asking for drugs, and I couldn't control myself." Then she goes on to blame her mom for giving her money throughout this whole time. But she says that she just gave her money because she didn't want her to go prostitute herself or be stealing stuff. And again, she continues, quote, "I was using crack for 3 days straight, and my money was already over. But the people started to buy it for me," Cachoeira said. "On the third day, I couldn't take it anymore. My body wouldn't take it anymore, but I had no strength to stand up and leave. My vision was blurry. I was disoriented. I wanted to leave. I looked at the door and saw the light. I saw that someone was coming my direction. I recognized the dress and said, 'It's my mother.' The other junkies left, scared, and I wanted to leave as well because I thought she would beat me." She continues, "She avoided the traps we set up for the cops and said, 'Let's go home.' She gave me a hug and we started crying. The junkies came back, applauding her, saying, 'I wish I had a mom like yours. Don't you ever come back here.' I left that place and never came back. I was rescued that day." You guys gotta read this article. That is some amazing stuff that you hear right there. Ex-crackhead Priscilla coming out. she's 9-0 right now in the UFC. This is the UFC debut. They tried to get Jennifer Maia, the Invicta champion, in this fight. It was too soon for her, but this is a fight I'm definitely excited for. Hearing that story, I was gonna pick Bullet hands down before hearing this. Now that I hear that she's X-crackhead, kind of giving her that David Branch chance in this fight. What about you guys? Did you know about this before? Did you know she was an X-crackhead? How many of those do we have in the UFC? Let me know in the comment section down below. And who are you guys picking? That's it. Back to you all. I'm out. Yo, we're still rolling. Not back to you. I see we got some people in the chat. Michael Anzalone, shout out. Joker305, shout out to you. Yeah, so I heard all that on the co-main event. If you guys aren't a follower of that podcast, definitely check them out. They are at thecomainevent.com. This was their 291st episode. So they're going to be rolling into episode 300. Hopefully they get something awesome for that. Chad and Ben are up there in Montana, the two of them, and they got an awesome show going on. It drops every Monday. I usually listen to it right after the Fortnite, as they call it. And so 2 p.m., 3 p.m., something like that. They record in the afternoon and then drop it to us. Check out that podcast. It is awesome. And then to you guys, you want to see any videos? You got any requests? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll make some videos for you guys. Until then, I'll see you all this evening at the MMA holes.